Hello and welcome to our STEM lesson this incorporating some beach monitoring surveys with today's lesson. So we'll be going over a sea star survey as well as kind of reviewing our site for today. If you would like to participate, you're welcome to grab a pencil and paper to keep track of the sea star measurements and even draw some sea stars if you're looking for an activity for today. But I'm just gonna do a quick pan around because it is a gorgeous day out here at the mouth of Gig Harbor. My name is Stina Troyer and I'm the science specialist, and I'm excited to take you on a survey. But first, I'm gonna flip our screen around, and thanks Octavia out there. If you could let us know where you're tuning in from, that would be great. The mountain is out. There's Mount Rainier out in the distance. It's gorgeous. And we just finished, actually, we had the fastest beach monitoring survey of Harbor WildWatch history. We got done an hour ago, and so we've been killing some time by enjoying this day and going for a swim in the lovely Puget Sound. And it's actually been so much fun that we still have some ladies, community scientists, rock stars all around, that are gonna do a dip for us before we get our science started. So I don't know, can I get a learn, have fun on 3?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Learn, have fun.
And that is some cold water. They're not gonna swim out too far because there's boats, but whew, we all definitely did a splash today, and it is that like exhilarating pins and needle prickle minor panic as you get into the seaweed here. Do you all see any sea stars out there while you're in that nice intertidal zone? Awesome. All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started with our survey. We basically just do some timed roving looks, and this survey is a way to document sea star wasting syndrome here in the Puget Sound. It's definitely a wide West Coast wide thing, maybe. It's a better way to say that. It is from Baja, California, all the way up to Alaska. And essentially what we're doing right now is we're taking a look for sea stars. So you're just gonna join me as we peruse the shore, looking for those stars. I notice over here we have some nice pilings, so that structure is definitely kind of where we're headed towards, as we will likely see some stars on those pilings. So sea star wasting syndrome is a illness or a disease, a syndrome, I guess, in sea stars, which essentially causes them to turn to mush. There's a sea star associated densovirus, which definitely hit the pycnopodia or the sunflower stars pretty hard. So we definitely, Harbor WildWatch used to do programs with kiddie pools because these are stars that grow 3 feet across, and it sounds like, oh, we have a star, perfect. So we don't really see any of those sunflower stars anymore. This ochre star here, kind of wedged in between this rock and piling, looks to me pretty healthy from what we can see. This is a little bit of a tricky one to measure, so we have a little ruler, but my technique for this might be to figure out how long of a finger it is, and then estimate based off of that. So we'll see if we can find another survey or sea star to survey, but we'll measure from the middle down to the longest arm and record whether or not this sea star is healthy. And if we notice signs of wasting, that would be like white lesions, different from these little white spots. These are called ossicles. They're essentially like the skeleton of the sea star poking out. The soft gooey bit are the gills of the sea star, which they of course used to. Oh, okay, sorry, we lost our signal there for a moment. But it looks like we're back online, and Rachel Easton is out there running tech for us today, so she'll be answering your questions as we go along. But kind of going back to this ochre star here, with its tiny little pinchers on its back to keep things from growing on it, we're gonna do our best to get a measurement on it. So if I could have that little ruler. Perfect. We've got Carly rocking and rolling. So we're gonna use the metric system. So we're measuring the millimeters of our sea star. I'm gonna essentially measure in centimeters and then times that by 10. So if I look here, it's to the 8 centimeters, so that makes for 80 millimeters. And Carly is gonna borrow my pencil. I don't know where it is. Pencil is in my pocket. And so this ochre star is also known as Pisaster ocraceus, the Pisaster star. And so at 80 millimeters, we're gonna put a tally for one healthy ochre star. And then we're gonna keep perusing the beach. Again, this is a roving timed survey. So we just started the clock and we'll keep looking around these nice pilings for more signs of sea stars. The tide is probably just starting to turn, which is a little unfortunate because it makes for tough visibility. I'd be curious to know if there was maybe some nice sea stars at the base of this piling. So we'll just kind of keep taking a look. These pilings definitely show how low the tide is today. I'm gonna get onto the sun side. Those barnacles will be underwater. And if I look at Carly over there, you can see that, what is it? Carly, how tall are you? 6 feet. So at least another, we doubled Carly. The tide is definitely over, I'd say 15 feet out right now, based on that barnacle edge on these pilings. So we're just kind of looking around, seeing if we see any more sea stars. We had our one nice little healthy ochre star kind of pinned between a rock and a piling. We'll just kind of keep looking around. And this data, this all goes to the University of California, Santa Cruz, UC Santa Cruz. And we've been giving them data summer and winter since the sea star wasting started occurring. This science is really just like the epitome. It's a beautiful example of community science in action. Because sea star wasting is such a widespread disease in the sea star populations, again, not just one species of sea star is affected, but multiple species in a huge area. Community scientists help collect the data that's needed to better understand how this disease is spreading and how these stars are starting to recover, because there's just not enough scientists to do all the work that would be required to understand this widespread, whoa, I'm not sure what that was, a fish, kind of surprising. But yeah, not enough scientists to understand the scope of this disease on their own. So this could be a slightly uneventful survey. Normally, if the stars were healthy, we would just see these pilings covered in stars. So I'm kind of surprised that we've only seen one today. I am thankful to note that it is a nice healthy star. Again, if you're just tuning in, you can let us know where you're tuning in from. I have some folks from Montana rocking and rolling. I see Octavia out there, high school buddy. Glad to take you on the beach with me today. And Carly, who's perusing the shore for more stars. There's another beach. We'll probably do another sea star survey at the Fox Island Sandspit later this summer. We have some more monitoring coming up in early July, and so we'll take you on another sea star survey at the Bella Bella Beach, and I think we'll see, my prediction is we'll see lots and lots of leather stars. For whatever reason, that is a species of star that just wasn't hit quite as hard, and so we see we've seen over 100 on a beach walk before at the Sandspit. I'm just coming over to these pilings again, looking for those nice bright colors of a sea star. The ochre stars come in purple and ochre, which is kind of an orange color. There's mottled stars, which come in blue, traffic cone orange, purple, red, all sorts of fun mottled colors. So kind of two tones usually. There's the, let's see, what other stars do we see? Hopefully some sunflower stars. A couple summers ago we saw some healthy little ones, and on a couple dives earlier this year I saw some healthy Pycnopodia, aka sunflower stars. But again, we're not finding a lot. I wish if the water was a little clearer over by these pilings, we might have gotten, you know, a glimpse. And it's a shorts and sandals kind of day, which means we can get pretty far out into the water looking for those stars. But we might be out of luck this afternoon. So again, we're on a little sea star survey today, and happy to have you with us. Since there's not a lot of sea stars, you can see it's a great day for recreation. People on motorboats, people on sailboats, some folks on paddle boards and kayaks. Of course, our wild crew actually swimming. It is hot here in Washington. We're enjoying the weather quite a bit. I know this is an exciting find here. This is some bull kelp. So there's other cool science projects looking at understanding the distribution of this really important habitat. So bull kelp, this one looks like it's washed up, but it's a brown algae or a kelp. And that nice stipe leads up to the bulb, and then these blades. Oh, this is cool. They actually show signs. These like patches are reproductive parts of this kelp. So cool to see that. Getting the waves from those boats that just went by. Any other stars, Carly or Steph? Just the one. We might go back and look at it a little bit more and talk about how cool sea stars are, because they are an amazing echinoderm, which means spiny skin. They're related to things like sea urchins and sand dollars and sea cucumbers. Ooh, I see something orange over here. I'm gonna take a little peek.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like it might be, I think we definitely have another star, folks. And underneath that orange that we see is another echinoderm called a sea cucumber, or an orange sea cucumber. And then this beautiful star here.
Oh, inside.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
That's a Sorry.
This is perfect. It is very exciting to see
Cool.
such a nice big purple star. This is another one of the ochre stars. And I'm not seeing any like gooey white lesions, so we know that this is a nice healthy star. Steph is one of our interns this summer, and we really haven't been able to do many public programs because of COVID, but we're excited to get a small number of folks out for some community science. So I'm gonna actually let Steph get in here and measure using the centimeter side from the center down the longest arm.
Sure.
That will help.
Fall on my butt. Thanks. All right,
Perfect. Yeah, from the center to the longest arm. Believe it or not, these sea stars are fierce predators in the intertidal zone. They pretty much eat whatever they can get their little tentacles on. They have those suction cup tube feet, which hold them nice and firmly in place, and they can use those to pry open the shell of something like, I think, what I would consider their favorite food, a mussel. And they actually do external digestion, where they spit their stomach out of their mouth, digest their food, put it back in. You can imagine how romantic a sea star dinner date would be. Blah, I don't know about that, but pretty fun. Wild weird thing. Alright, so we're gonna round down to 190. So that is a big, healthy sea star, which is great to see. Ochre stars are definitely on the list of stars that were wiped out. Maybe not completely wiped out, but really impacted by sea star wasting syndrome. It's really exciting to see a nice, big, healthy star here in this piling at the mouth of Gig Harbor. You're gonna see they have really strong tube feet, so since it's pretty stuck in place, I'm just gonna let it be. I don't really want to rip those tube feet. I'm trying to see if I can kind of, without getting my phone wet, peek over here to look at this little spot. This is called the madreporite, and that is essentially the filter that a sea star uses to take seawater into its body. This is an animal with no brain, no blood, and no bones. So kind of a funky living thing here. A lot of blood, this filter here takes in the seawater, and that seawater is what operates these little suction cup tube feet that, I don't know, because of where the sea star is, I really can't manipulate it very well, but there we go. Waving, it's waving at you. Our sea star saying hello, all of those tuning in. And those tube feet, believe it or not, with the seawater that this star draws into its body. And then I like to think of these little tube feet working a lot like a turkey baster. So they're gonna use that hydraulic pump system to move around and suction onto things. And so when I move this star, you'll notice it is firmly in place. Those tube feet are very strong, especially for this type of species here. Again, the ochre star. I wonder if we can peek in. Kind of almost, it's not quite an eating position. They kind of bow up a little bit when they're eating in that beautiful way, something like a mussel. Another kind of cool adaptation is, despite not having any bones, no eyes, and no brain, which hopefully I didn't just say that wrong. Sometimes when you're talking out loud, the words don't come out right. But on the end of each arm, there is indeed an eye spot. And those eye spots work a lot like if you were to close your eyes right now and look away from the light, you'll notice that the light, like you can see when you're looking towards the light. So it's predicted that that's kind of a light and dark sensing organ, so it's not as evolved as our eyes, but they definitely see a little bit. This star has 5 arms. You betcha it has 5 eyes. Pretty cool. So glad again to see this nice, happy, healthy. Stuck. Okay, we're back. We were just noticing there are no sea stars here, but some nice red rock crabs kind of tucked in this piling. Sorry again about the connection issue. Not sure. I guess the mouth of Gig Harbor. It's hard to get service here. I'm also stepping, there's another type of kelp here that's very slippery, but very beautiful. So it looks like, I think, 2 sea stars today for our sea star survey. Both ochre stars, both healthy. Great to see out here on the beach, and really excited that you all could tune in and join us for this little peek into the world of community science that Harbor WildWatch does in conjunction with UC Santa Cruz. And we look forward to having you join us on more community science events, as well as other fun programs that we are just keep putting out there. So if you want to stay tuned for more new content from Harbor WildWatch, you're welcome to like our Facebook page, like us on Instagram. You can even subscribe to our YouTube channel where we post a lot of these videos as well as some additional content. And if you want notifications for that, you can subscribe by hitting the little bell. And yeah, that's definitely a good way to stay in touch with new content we're putting out. If you would like to support Harbor WildWatch financially, you can become a Steward Club member. This is a way to get other additional content that's exclusive just for that group. as well as some other fun perks that we put out there. And again, just being part of the Harbor WildWatch team, we love our Steward Club members who can also be volunteers. Granted, we're sad to say there's not a lot of volunteer opportunities going on quite at the moment. And of course, if the financial cards aren't in your favor, just love your support by sharing these videos. Again, we're so thankful that you could join us for this video today, and hope you're out there enjoying the beautiful summer weather, maybe going swimming. We might do another dip, I'm not sure. But thanks so much for tuning in today. We've got the waves from the boat crashing in over me. So again, thank you for tuning in, and as always, learn to have fun.